YouTube. I would say this feels good, but it actually doesn't. Wearing trophies, wearing your medals, like after a show. I don't know what it is. Like, you know when you see people walking around after a show and they're like, their things are like clanging. Just take it off, bro. First show of the season done. At this point, the YouTube video is already ready. So if you've not watched it, go and watch it. This is going to be my post-show thoughts and basically plans moving forward. So to break down the content of what we've got planned, we have the YouTube video that was done with Hubert. We also then have my own behind the scenes like show day video breakdown, and then we also have I guess this video. So obviously when it comes to this video, I'm just going to be chatting about the result, obviously where things were, and now it's been a few days. So for reference, guys, it's Wednesday the 5th of August. The show was on Saturday the 1st of August. This was my first ever Two Bros super heavyweight class, or super heavyweight show, and obviously we came away with the class win and the overall. Now, let's be honest, as you can probably tell by the video, the previous video, the show standard, the guy in my class was good. He's the most jacked pilot in the world. he's a big dude. That being said, for my standards as an athlete, me going into the sort of show, like I was going in with the intention to win the class, win the overall, and step on stage against some good bodybuilders, and I did that. That being said, I would like to have stepped against a few more. Obviously the result is cool. I always will say results are obviously the thing that I think people on socials will naturally gravitate to. People within my own gym will be like, oh bro, congrats, but like the result is the process, and it's also delivering the look that you want to deliver. I have had shows before that I've won and I've not been too happy with the look. I've also had shows where I've not won. My favourite show last year was objectively it was the only show I didn't win the overall in, and I'm not going to say actually I was super happy with the look, because actually I could have been a fair bit fuller. My better looks were the previous and then the following show, but when it came to overall like enjoyment within the show day, like the PCA final show like day last year, I had so much fun, and like I look back at that as like a big driver of why I've made the progress I've made, based off, let's say, me not winning that show. So if you said to me straight up, gun to head, what was your favourite show last year, it would be PCA finals. That being said, it's the only show I didn't win, and it was objectively, out of all the looks, probably the third best out of four. So it wasn't like it was a ridiculous look or anything like that. So it's funny how bodybuilding competing works. I think when you start out, all you think about is, I want to win, I want to do this, I want to do that. And of course we all want to win, but it's delivering upon the look and finding, let's say, the joy within the process. Now that's enough fucking gay shit. Let's actually get into the fucking show. So yeah, basically show was alright. I didn't get a pump backstage at all. I got the timings wrong, my own fault, no fault of Two Bros or anything like that. I for some reason thought the show was a little bit later. I couldn't imagine bodybuilding starting at 9 o'clock. I thought that based off the fact that my tan was 7:30 to 8:30, I was like, oh, well, they're not going to tan you and then immediately get you on stage. Like, they're going to have time. Like, I didn't actually get told with tanning to go backstage or anything like that. So I was in the toilet doing what you do in the toilet, while also taking like my pre-stage sort of shots and stuff like that, doing my orals, getting myself ready. I'd had about 400 to 500 ml of water. I hear my name get called, and I was like, my number get called. I was like, that's a bit peculiar, that's a bit early. So I'm like chilled, walked out, sit down, sit with everybody who's there with me, and obviously shout out to the people that travelled. And I was like, that's a bit odd. Like, they call my name and number again. So I like just walk backstage and go, guys, like, do I need to be backstage? And the guy's like, yeah, go backstage, go upstairs, we want you backstage, and get in your glaze in a minute. And I was like, okay, it's a bit weird. Walk backstage, super chilled, relaxed, haven't had anything to eat at this point, haven't had anything to drink other than, like I said, a few 100 ml of water. And then like the guy's like, right, you need to get your glaze. And I'm like, oh, okay. Guy that I'm competing against again, a pump, like seriously, like, pumping apart. And I was like, yeah, right, mate, do you know what I'm going to be on? And he's like, soon, or his coach says soon. He didn't actually say anything. So I was like, that's a bit weird. All right, fair enough. So like, I'm like literally get my block of dark chocolate, bit of honey, bit of salt. The guy I'm up against runs upstairs, and then they like, Reece, you're on stage in 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. So I've done like 2 scoops of Mega Pump. I've done a good amount of salt, block of dark chocolate, a bit of honey, and then just like took my water, sipped on it while I was going upstairs. And they were like, Reece, you're literally on in a minute. I was like, Oh, okay, cool. Realizing I was like, haven't done anything here, haven't done any press ups, haven't done anything to pump up. Luckily, I woke up and could tell, like, when I was posing, I was like, okay, I don't really need to do a lot. Which is lucky because I peaked quite differently for this. So watch my show day, like behind the scenes breakdown of what I did. Peaked a little bit differently for this one. Still similar sort of thought processes, but I knew I was going to be on in the morning, so I wanted to be like on the money in the morning, just dry out slightly, and then basically just be ready to go. If it was a PCA show, I would have been fucked. I would have not looked my best at all. But basically, got my glaze, did like a few bodyweight sort of fucking like flies, and then did literally 3 press ups, was getting my bands out my bag, and then the guy's like, Reece, you're on. And I was like, okay, cool, sick. Luckily, I looked alright. And like, to be fair, the only thing I would say that was negative was I sweated a bit. I sweat out a bit more than I would usually sweat. Than like, so just based off literally no other reason than I think the salt and the honey hit me after my first comparisons, and then when I went to do my individual, because you walk out, you do your individual, you do like 4 to 5 poses, you then go to the sides, you do some comparisons, you come off, and then when I went to do my routine, I was like, I'm fucking sweating, and I never sweat. Like, I don't think I've ever sweat on stage before. This was the only time I've ever in my entire life like actually sweat on stage, and it was a hot stage, but I think it was more so probably me having to like get myself up and ready to fucking go for it. So yeah, but then obviously won the class. That was cool. I could tell the judges were looking at me. I could tell I was like, okay, I look alright here. And then obviously in the overall, how Two Bros works out with the overall is obviously it's weight classes. So it's like the photos they posted of the overall, they're quite harsh on the other guys. I beat the guy who won the classic overall because I genuinely had about 45 kilos on him, and I'm like not even joking. Like, I'm 20 kilos plus over the classic. Fucking hell, I'm fucking 30 kilos over the classic weight cap. I'm 20 kilos plus over over the super heavy cap. So as a result, he would, I think, was in the heavy, no, the middles of the heavies. So like he's probably like 90 kilos. I'm 124. 34 kilos, like, yeah, maybe, and then the guy in the middle was whatever, I don't know how heavy he was, in the 80s. So I have 30 to 40 kilos on these guys, so it looked a bit silly. That's just bodybuilding for you. It's the reason why if you're in the supers and you don't win the pro card and you win your class, something's gone fucking wrong, or the heavyweight is a fucking freak. But if you're like 20 kilos over the cap and you're not 6'6", you should be winning the overall every single time as a super. Like, that's kind of how it should be. It's the reason why it happens most of the time. It's the reason why most of the heavies go to do amateur Olympias, because it's the top 3 in the overall. So that's that. So either way, obviously happy with the result, more so happy with the look that I delivered, and obviously that ticked the box. Shows moving forward, I actually do have a show this weekend. I am not going to say what, because it's not that big of a show. I'm doing it solely out of the love for the person who's running the show. I'm not really even going to include it as a main or as a show that like if you said to me at the end, like, oh, how many shows have you won? Like, I imagine I will win the show. I imagine I'll win the overall. I mean, I might not. Like, this video is actually going out before the show day is going to be live, or before the show is going to be live. So like, it's literally just having a bit of fun. I'm going to not really peak for it. I say that I'm going to get some data, but I'm not going to peak. Like, this is not a peak. I trained legs today. I wouldn't be training legs 4 days out from the show. Usually, I am solely doing this because I said I'd do the show as an amateur, and I imagine at the end of the season I will have a pro card. So as a result, I won't be able to do it. It is a bit of the, if I saw me do it as someone else, I'd be a bit like, nah, really, bro, do you really have to do that? But at the same time, I'm an amateur, do what the fuck I want, and yeah, I'm gonna have some fun this weekend. So got a show this weekend, and then we have the pro qualifier on the 22nd. Now, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be honest. This is quite cool. I was originally going to do Austria. I'm not doing Austria anymore because there was a few things that changed my mind. Basically, I had a plan: Austria, then Romania if I didn't get it, and then Italy. The thought of doing back-to-back shows, especially with how I'm feeling now, would not be fun. Traveling, all that sort of stuff. Like, I desperately feel like I need a little bit of not a break, because I don't feel bad at all, but I would like to have a few days in a different place where I can basically just bodybuild, have a few days after the show, and funnily enough, I've been saying to Sanaya that I want to go to like Asia for the longest amount of time, and there is a pro qualifier in Asia on the same weekend as Austria. And I was like, oh, it's Asia, it's Korea, it's Seoul, or Seoul, Seoul, I don't fucking know, it's there. So I'm going to Korea which is pretty fucking cool. So the positives are it's a business expense. I can take my mum and Sanaya because they are required. HMRC, please don't ask. They are needed. So business expense. To be able to compete abroad in Korea would be fucking sick, especially considering that, like, when I win my pro card, I will be doing my pro debut in America. I am not the sort of guy to be like, I want to, you know, just do some European shows and see how I stack up. I am going for this because I fucking want to have some fun. I love the whole bodybuilding process. I just want to stack myself in some fucking cool shows, in some cool places, learn my body. It's a 12-hour flight. I'm going to go literally Tuesday the 18th, so if the show's on the weekend, I'll have a few days to find my bearings, acclimatise. I'll dry out through the flight, load from that point, which will be fucking sick. Like, looking forward to that. I'll stay out for a few days afterwards, and it also means I can have a few days to chill out afterwards, enjoy some scenery, enjoy some travel, and then like just refine the look. If I don't have the pro card, and if I do, then sick, cool. I can do a little post-show rebound starting out on fucking Labrador and fucking Wuhan bats or whatever. So it's not Wuhan. That's Wuhan? Where? I thought it was Wuhan. That's China, isn't it? Yeah, that's where COVID came from. So yeah, I can load up on Labrador into the show, guys. Shout out to any Koreans that eat Labrador. I am not going to be eating any Labrador. So yeah, but imagine I'm going to get some fucking hilarious social media stories, carving up on fucking Labrador and stuff like that. Prepare. But yeah, I also believe Tyler Mannion is the head judge. I think my physique is very situated towards the American side of like being pretty freaky, really good shape, really good flow, very good lines, fucking big. I also don't see any Asians that are going to be 260 to 70 pounds with my sort of shape and structure. And then also, as cliche and stereotypical as it is, like, look at my glutes and hamstrings and how good I am from a posterior standpoint. Like, not many Asians have that. So I think for a pro card, not because it's going to be a guarantee, but I think it would be cool to see me go against some fucking good guys over there. And then away from that, it makes me excited. Like, that excites me. Like, the thought of doing Austria, like, was like, nah, yeah, sound it. If I get the pro card, it'd be cool. But like, the thought of going to Korea, I've always wanted to go. I was gonna go at the end of this year. It's the same weekend, and I can have some fucking fun in a different country with my mum, with Sanaya there, and refine the look, train out some fucking cool gyms, just explore afterwards. I think that's gonna be fucking so cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's gonna be the plan for the pro card. And then if I get it, sick, cool. It'll be into a rebound, into a health phase, then into a off season, into then a prep for next year. Pro debut, which will be cool. Like, will I need more time off? I mean, yeah, to be really competitive as a pro. But also, like, I look at my progress that I made this year and I'm like, fuck it, let's just keep things fucking going. When the physique is responding, I'm healthy, I'm fucking happy, I'm loving the process. Why the fuck would I stop doing this shit? I just want to carry this on. Like, I want to carry this on. And then obviously, if I don't get the pro card, we have Romania the next week, but because I'll be out in Korea for a few days, I won't be doing that. There's Italy, and there's also a few on that, like 5th to 6th. And then there's another one on the 12th, there's the Gasper one on the 22nd or 20th or whatever, but I have all my clients compete. So essentially, I want to get it wrapped up. If I don't get the pro card at 2 attempts, I'm clearly not the level. And like, to be fair, like, I'm not going to hold any grudges against that. Like, I believe I am at a pro standard or very close to pro caliber physique. I think I have a better physique than a lot of guys who have pro cards. It's all about just turning up and doing the right show, seeing kind of how I stack up. And trust me, like, if I win a pro card this year, I am going to be the exact same person. I'm not going to break down in tears and go, oh my God, I've made it. Like, no, my goals are way surpass a pro card. I say that, my goals are solely on training and just enjoying the process. Like, I do this shit because I fucking love it. It's fun. That's literally it. I don't put much pressure on myself. I'm so blessed to be able to do this and put my all into something. And I know that it's limited, especially after my injury. I won't be able to do this shit forever. There's going to be a time where I won't be able to bodybuild. So as long as I'm in a good spot health-wise, I'm in my mid-20s, I've got fucking plenty of time ahead of me. Why the fuck would I stop doing this sort of shit? So yeah, that's the plan. So like, if I get the pro card, sick. We'll do the pro debut next year. That'd be awesome for content. If I don't get the pro card, then cool. We'll go again next year. And if I don't get next year, we'll go again the following year. But I truly believe I'm basically there. I feel like I just need to do the right show, and hopefully it's the career show. If it's not, no issues. But so far, first show ticked off. Overall secured. I've got a fucking WWE belt, and yeah. Oh shit, that's heavy as fuck. And I'm ready for my next show this weekend, and then the following show in 2 weeks. So that is that. Hope everyone has enjoyed. Peace. Bye bye.